Rock Chat with Trace.
In this podcast, I'm talking to Kevin Simpson from BlitZ, who's recently released a Christmas song, I Believe in Christmas, Do You Believe in Rock and Roll, for Cancer Research UK. Hello, Kevin, and thank you for doing the podcast.
Not a problem. Thanks for asking me.
How did you first get into music and playing the guitar?
That's easy. Listening to Queen and Kiss. They was my inspiration.
What would you say are your two most influential albums?
Two most influential? Oh, God. Put me on the spot there. I think Queen Live Killers and Kiss Alive.
What is so special about the Queen album?
I just love Queen. I think musically there was all geniuses. They all wrote songs, great musicians, great songwriters. And Freddie was the ultimate frontman, and nobody's ever taken his place, in my opinion.
What bands did you see as a teenager?
Oh, God, let's have a look. We start with Queen, Kiss, Motley Crue, Guns N' Roses, Poison, Bon Jovi. Oh, so many. Nirvana, Slayer, Metallica, Megadeth, Anthrax, Machine Head, Slipknot. Just so many.
How did BlitZ form?
BlitZ formed 5 years ago. Chance meeting with Stuart in a rehearsal room, and he noticed my Kiss tattoo. We got chatting about Kiss, and before you knew it, we was kind of writing songs together. And then he introduced me to Matt, because he used to work with Matt. We had a jam, and the rest is BlitZtory.
Can you explain a little about the band BlitZ?
Yeah, I mean, it's a three-piece hard rock, classic rock, a little bit of metal. We base ourselves on classic rock. So there's only three of us in the band, and we just take the influences that I've kind of mentioned and, just basic round that. And I think that's BlitZ. We like good show business as well. I mean, that's why we like Queen and bands like that, the showbiz style, and Kiss as well.
You released a charity single, I Believe in Christmas, Do You Believe in Rock and Roll? Are you happy to explain how the song came about?
Yeah, the song came about from a chat with our manager who heads Forge, management company called Forge, and he dropped a message back in September saying, do you think you guys could write a Christmas song? But when you've asked to write a Christmas song in September, you kind of have to think about it, and we rose to the challenge, and in less than 2 weeks we wrote it, rehearsed it and recorded it, and it's out officially this Friday with the video. So this Friday at 6 p.m.
Can you explain why you chose the charity?
The singer, Stuart, his wife at the moment is, she's got cancer. It's incurable cancer. It has come back this year, and we just wanted to do something for cancer research anyway. I'm sure many people have been affected with it or know people that's been affected, and we just wanted to do something positive, especially with the year we've had this year with COVID, and we wanted to put some money into cancer research. It's just simple as that.
How can people donate to the charity?
Well, if you go onto our page, on the BlitZ page on Facebook, there's a donation there. It's set up on Facebook, and all you have to do is click on that and donate. And this Friday, when we release the single, it is a free download. So on Friday, if you visit the page, donate, and then you can download the song for free. And it's doing very well at the moment. We're well over £1,000 at the moment.
Please send my best wishes to Gal and Stuart.
I will definitely do that. Definitely do that for you.
Fight to Survive is your second album. How would you describe the album?
Well, the second album obviously follows on from the first. I know that sounds a little bit silly, but the first album was written, 4 or 5 years ago. So those songs we'd been playing for a long time. So the second album, we were just writing it. We always write, and those were the 11 songs that made that album, and we're super proud of it, because we recorded at Access Studios in Doncaster with Matt Ellis. We've released quite a few videos now from that album. And again, we're super proud of it. And it does cover a little bit more, a little bit of metal, a little bit of rock in there. So it is quite a diverse album. and it's doing really well at the moment, considering we're not gigging.
Is there a contrast on the album?
Yeah, I mean, there's some commercial songs on there. There's a song called "Waiting for a Miracle" that was played on the BBC. Got another song called "Never Surrender," which was written about Gail's cancer, actually, and some heavier songs on there: "Blood Brothers," "Dance on Fire," and there's some kind of classic rock stuff there. "Party Time," "99 Ways," that kind of AC/DC vibe. There's quite a few tastes on there.
What are the standout tracks on the album?
For me, my personal favourite is a song called "Breaking Out," which originally wasn't going to be on the album because it was wrote in lockdown, the first lockdown, and it's how I was feeling at the time. The song came together pretty quick, and before we knew it, we were back in the studio recording the 11th song. Originally it was going to be 10, but that was the 11th song. So that's the proudest one for me, is "Breaking Out."
Can you explain Dance on Fire?
Again, it was a song written for the second album. It was just a little bit more groovier, a little bit heavier than what we usually do. The lyrics are quite dark on this one. Again, it seems to be one of the favourite songs from the album. A lot of the reviews do say that's a standout track. We was a little bit unsure if we was going away from what we originally started, but I think it fits the BlitZ vibe. And again, it's a great song, and we just can't wait to start playing these songs live, because we've not had a chance this year.
Subject to restrictions, have you got any plans to tour next year?
Well, obviously we're concentrating on the single, which is out on Friday, and then hopefully next year, hopefully it does pick up, and we'll just start rehearsing again, because we've not rehearsed 3 times this year, and we just want to get back on it and get this album out there. We want to start playing this album in front of people. Definitely got plans for next year.
What do fans get when they come to a BlitZ show?
What we try to deliver is a good rock show, high energy, octane rock show. Try and get the crowd involved from the minute we go on to the minute we come off. There's a song on the first album called "I Believe," which is brackets, "They Can't Take Our Rock and Roll." Don't think we've ever failed not to get the crowd singing "They Can't Take Our Rock and Roll." It's kind of the showstopper, that. So we do like to involve the audience as much as we can, and we love it.
Who would you most like to tour with?
Oh, I'd love to have done the last shows with Kiss. Thinking big there, but obviously they're kind of wrapping it up at the moment, and I think I'd love to play with Kiss.
How did you come up with the artwork?
There's a guy that we've been working with from the beginning called Adam Richard Reynolds, and basically he's done our stuff from the very first EP back in 2015. He's just a really great artist, and just love his work, and people really recognise the artwork. Like Kiss, you kind of recognise Kiss's artwork, and that's what we wanted, just to be instantly recognised.
How does the songwriting process happen?
It starts off in many ways, just an idea, and obviously with technology these days, with your computer, you can write a song in your bedroom. Sometimes it happens in rehearsals. An idea can come from nowhere. I don't like to sit down and write. I always wait for an idea to come, and then I'll work on that. But sometimes we just jam at rehearsals and just record it.
How did you get into fishing?
Believe it or not, I've just come back from fishing. Well, I could talk about fishing all day. Probably the age of 11 years old when I used to watch it on TV. Nobody in my family ever fished. They was always into golf and football. And I started off with golf and football and just ended up fishing. A lot of my friends used to go fishing, and it stayed with me. I find it very relaxing. I love the open air, and I love wildlife as well. I get to see things at 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning, especially winter. I love fishing in the winter, and I just love wildlife as well. I don't mind not catching anything neither. I just love being in the open air. I love it. And sometimes I get my song ideas from that.
What's your biggest catch?
I fish for pike a lot. So my biggest pike is around about 27.5 pounds. But I kind of fish for anything, but pike are my main quarry. I love them. They're very intriguing.
Anything else you want to mention?
I'd like to say thank you for having me. I'd like to thank everybody that's helping us out at the moment. That's Martin Dunning, Peter Noble, the Forge team, great management team behind us. And I'd like to thank the Blitz crew. That's what we call the guys that follow us. We call them the Blitz crew. And without them, well, it sounds cliche, but we're nothing without people that support us. And I can't thank them enough. I really appreciate it. We all appreciate it. And Friday's going to be a big test of getting behind this song and raising some serious money. We want this song on the BBC. You know, we don't want to mess around here. We want the BBC to get involved with this. Why not have a rock song at number one?
Blitz released I Believe in Christmas, Do You Believe in Rock and Roll on December the 4th, 2020. And I'd like to thank Kevin for joining me on Rock Chat with Trace.
Okay, thanks. Really appreciate that.